I tried to do everything in my capacity to achieve what I wanted to do in the world, which was travel, help people, and make a lot of money. And it just wasn't working. And it was that moment of surrender. It was that moment of just like letting my ego go of like, maybe I need some help. What's love got to do with it? That may be a question you're asking yourself while you're watching this, but I'm here to tell you love has everything to do with running a business. And here's why. Because you need to have passion, you need to have purpose, you need to have a sense of fulfillment to be successful in whatever you do. I myself has tried running several businesses where I wasn't inspired, I wasn't lit up, I wasn't like desiring to be successful inside of that, because that business, it was just a means to an end. And I'm here to tell you, if you don't have passion, if you don't have purpose, if you don't have intention in what you're doing, you will quit, you will give up, you will not push through. So I'm going to share today with you some of the ways that I create passion and fulfillment and intention, and how I get through those days, how I get through those moments, how I get through those times where I want to quit, where I just want to say, forget it all, why am I even doing this, and just sail off into the sunset. Because I'm here to tell you, it still happens, and it will always happen. But here's the thing, I get reconnected to why I started this in the first place. My passion, my purpose, and everything else I'm doing. I get connected to all the people that I'm helping. I get connected to my intention, and I want to share with you how I do that. So let's get going, gang. So first off, you have to realize that money is a means to an end. Real estate investing is a means to an end. Entrepreneurship is a means to an end. What that end is going to be dependent on what you want out of life. Now, all the people that come into our advanced masterminds, we have one question, well, actually two questions we ask when they get started. The first question is, where are they now? The second question is, where do they want to be in 12 months, 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years from now? So where are you and where do you want to go? And so I want to ask you that same question. Where are you today and where do you want to be in the future? Now, depending on some of you, you may look out 6 months, you may look out 12 months. I have gone 10, 20, 30 years out because I've spent so much time in this world that I have some really lofty goals, and I work with a coach and she helps me actually achieve those goals, and then we just back into it. So first off, we have to create that picture for you. And I love using that analogy because just like the picture behind me, it is very detailed. It's a picture of Machu Picchu. I'm actually down in Cusco, Peru right now. We're getting ready to go there here in a couple weeks with some dear friends. But that is a very defined photo. You can shut your eyes, you can envision it, you can see every piece of it. Now, most people have a blank wall. So if I was to remove this photo from behind me, you would just see a blank wall. And that is what most people's futures look like. They don't take any time to plan, they don't take any time to create, they don't take any time to think, invent, or whatever you want to call it. And so when they're going through this entrepreneurial endeavor, this real estate investing endeavor, there is nothing to keep their eye on the prize. That picture is the prize, and if there's nothing there, there's absolutely no prize. So the hard work, the money for coaching, the money for education, the money for professionals, all of that, the energy that they have to give out, and the finances that they have to give out, it doesn't seem worth it, right? It doesn't seem worth it because they don't have a big enough future to live into. I want to give you an example. Let's imagine your dream is to travel the world. That is my dream. I'm doing it right now. We just spent 4 months in Colombia, 2 months in Hawaii. We're living in Peru right now. We're going to be traveling all over South America. We actually gave up our apartment and we're just traveling the world, living out of backpacks and short-term rentals. And I'm here to tell you, it is the best time of my life. We get to do what we want, when we want, how we want. And I'm here to say we still work hard. So let's imagine that you have a similar goal like that, to travel the world like we are right now. This was actually a goal that I created. And then what I did is I wrote it down. I described it. I said, hey, I'm going to go here on this date. I'm going to go here on this date. I'm going to go here with these people. And I really created it. I wrote it down and I kept it in my mind on a daily basis. And I kept thinking about it and I kept, feeling how excited I was going to be. And then, when those hard times come, I'm like, oh, this is so, I can get through this because the end, right, where I'm at and where I want to go, I'm focusing on where I want to go, is totally worth the temporary, how would we call it? The temporary pain, the temporary discomfort, the temporary not hanging out with your friends, the temporary, not being able to see your family as much as you would like. That's all temporary, right? But I'm here to say if that end picture isn't clear, isn't defined, what's going to happen when those moments come is this. You're going to go, oh, it's not worth it. The end isn't worth going through, staying up a little extra every night. The end isn't worth spending a little money on coaching. The end isn't worth being uncomfortable for a little bit because the end goal isn't big enough. And then what's going to happen is you're going to quit. And I know that because I experience on a daily basis. We have helped thousands of people across the country and across the globe be successful in entrepreneurism, in real estate. And I'm telling you, the people that have the vision, you may call it your why. It may be whatever, however you articulate it. It's why are you doing this, right? Because real estate investing entrepreneurship is a means to an end. Now, we've also been able to, create something in the essence where the means to an end is actually helping other people. We have a community of real estate investors that we've created where we actually help other people do deals and they help us do deals and we make money together. Now, that's my business. And I found a way to help people inside of my business so I can fulfill on one of the things that I love most is helping others. So you need to find something that inspires you. You need to find something that keeps you up at night. You need to find something that lights you up because if you don't, you're gonna quit. And I'm telling you, this is, it's taken me 9 years to get here. I got started on this journey 9 years ago. And before that, I was a professional consultant, financial consultant. So what I really tell people is I'm 35 years old. And I tell people it only took me 35 years to get here because every day, every second, every piece of your past is a part of who you are. And you may have a fantastic skill set that transfers over to entrepreneurism, to real estate investing, to business ownership. You may have a sales skills. You may have marketing skills. You may be fantastic with people and know how to have great conversations, right? There is a value that you have that you can share with people that can transfer over into this world of business ownership, entrepreneur, and real estate investing. You just have to find the intention and purpose of doing it. Because I will tell you, making money only goes so far, right? Me and my wife are blessed to have enough money to travel and do all of that. But after a while, the money, after you make so much money, it sort of loses its special effect. And, I still love making money, but, there had to be something else because I started plateauing. I was getting bored with making money. And so I had to create something bigger. Now, when I first started this endeavor 9 years ago, my first goal was to quit my job. Right? That's all I want to do is I want to quit my job because I was working 60 to 100 hours a week, literally sleeping on the floor to try to impress my boss. I had no girlfriend. I wouldn't go out with my friends. I literally worked every waking second I could because that is what I was told. They said, if you work hard, you can have whatever you want. And that's all I did was work, work, work. I stayed, I studied. I became very good at what I did and to the point where I got a job working for one of the best companies in the world as a financial consultant doing theoretical finance, very advanced stuff. And I loved it. Became a published author in that world, making 6 figures a year, had every bell and whistle you could think of. And I was exhausted. I was tired and I didn't want to do it anymore, but I didn't have an alternative. So this is, I started looking around and I started creating. And one day I went to a training event. And inside of this training event, someone said, we have a personal development guy coming next week. And I was like, what is personal development? I'm like, what is that? And he came and he shared his story. And I'm here to tell you, I cried for 4 hours straight. And here's why, is because before that, I felt like I was in a room with no door and I was trying to get my way out. And that the way out was called traveling the world, running my own businesses, being able to make money how and when I wanted. Okay, on demand almost. I did not know how to do that, and I was trying so hard. I wanted it so bad. And then he started sharing his story, and I remember I was just bawling because he was going through something else. And I signed up for his coaching program, and I went to him and I said, you know what? I couldn't even talk really. I handed him my sign up sheet with my credit card information. And then I remember this, I instantly left. I didn't talk to anyone because if I talked, I would have burst out in tears. And I went to the Schaumburg Library in Schaumburg, Illinois, one of the biggest libraries in the country. And I said, hey, do you have any books on personal development? Like thinking it was a secret. And they go, yeah. They looked at me really funny. They go, yeah, there's actually a whole section over there. And it just opened my world. And ever since then, I have been consuming personal development. I have been writing down my goals. I have been planning my future. Everything I do is intentional. I don't wake up and just go, what is the day going to bring to me? I say, this is what I'm going to do today. This is what I'm going to do in my life. And it started off with that. So I started reading the 4 Agreements. I started reading a couple different, The Art of War. There's another book called The War of Art. It's a play on words, but it's check those books out. The 4 Agreements, the War of Art, right? It's a play on words on the other book. But I started reading those 2, and then those led me to other books and other books, and I just kept my headphones on. I listened to them when I was in the car. I took little. Made little pictures and put them everywhere to keep me present, that all of this was in my mind. These negative thoughts, I was creating them. This upset, I was creating them. And I needed to keep myself present. And then I got involved in coaching programs. Then I got involved in personal development programs. And then I just kept consuming and consuming and consuming all of this stuff to become a person that could actually do what I want to do. And I'm here to tell you, if you've never done a deal before, you're not going to. I want that to sink in. If you've never done a deal before, you're not going to, because you need to grow into the person that can do a deal. Because see, if you already were that person, you would be doing deals. And this is the great part about what we do, is we get to grow and develop and evolve every day and become that person that we want to become. But I'm telling you, it is a process. So don't get upset, because here's the thing, at the end of the day, none of it matters. And what I mean by that is most people are looking for happiness, right? Regardless, it may be, hey, this car makes me happy, this house makes me happy, this X makes me happy. But I'm here to tell you, you can choose to be happy right now. So if you can choose to be happy right now, everything you do can be an adventure. You can create this process that you're going through as an adventure. And that's what I'm doing, because I have a lofty goal, a lofty vision to help millions of people throughout the world learn how entrepreneurship, making money, business ownership literally can change the world. It is my belief that if you know how to make money and you know how to treat people with kindness and respect and dignity, that we can literally cure poverty. We can cure a lot of these problems that people are facing throughout the world if we could just teach them how to make money, how to run a business, how to treat other people with respect, and how to do it ethically. Because a lot of the challenges that people face in the world revolve around money. If you really look at a lot of these foundations and organizations, they're always asking for money. And my concept is, well, why don't we just teach them how to run a business, to invest that money that they're making or that they were donated. So I have this huge vision that I'm creating. And the only way I'm going to do it is keep stepping into the unknown. Now, the great thing about working with other individuals inside of this personal development world is they're looking backwards, right? So I work with people that are looking backwards. In the endeavors that I'm taking, I'm looking forward. It's unknown to me, but I have coaches and I surround myself with professionals that are looking backwards, that have been there, done that, and say, hey, don't do this, don't step there, that's trouble, right? Be careful of this, because they've already done it. And that is why it is so important to surround yourself with individuals that have been down the road that you're going down. Now, in order to do that, again, you have to distinguish where are you and where do you want to go. So I'm just gonna hammer that over and over and over again, because again, without it, you're going to quit. So a couple questions I would love to hear from you are, where are you? Where do you want to go? And then how can we help you get there? There are so many resources out there, and the challenge for most people is there's so many resources they can't choose. Should I do X? Should I do Y? Should I do Z? Should I do ABC, Elemental P, whatever it is? There's so many ways to make money. There's so many ways to create a business. I have chosen online marketing, online businesses, real estate investing, and things like that because it fits my lifestyle. And by that, I mean, I love to travel. I love to travel, and I've actually accomplished my goal of traveling the world with my wife. And so our online business aspect allows us to fulfill on that. So if you want to travel, you have to pick a business that aligns with that. Running a bar from afar, is it possible? Absolutely, but probably not probable, okay? So make sure whatever business you pick, if you want to do real estate, which is what we do, you can do it from anywhere in the world. All you need is internet and a computer, right? And again, a team of people to do this. So if you're listening to this and you can have any aspect of relating to what I've gone through, which is struggle, which is where do I go, which is I need some help. I remember one day I was so fed up with my job, so fed up with that career, but I didn't have a way out. Remember, I said I felt like I was in a room with no door. And I remember one day I broke down in tears. I was in the bathroom. I just curled up into a ball and I was just crying because everything I knew wasn't working. And that is the key here. I really want you to listen to this. Everything I knew, key word being new, wasn't working. I tried to do everything in my capacity to achieve what I wanted to do in the world, which was travel, help people, and make a lot of money. And it just wasn't working. And it was that moment of surrender. It was that moment of just like letting my ego go of like, maybe I need some help. Maybe there's somebody out there that can help me. Okay. And what I did is I started searching around and I found a group that we actually are part of today. And there was amazing individuals in there. And I went and I joined this group and I got direction. Now, here's the key is remember, I just said I did everything in my capacity that I knew. What I knew wasn't cutting the mustard. What I knew wasn't going to get me to where I wanted to be. I had to go learn. I had to go be a different person. When I first started this, I was shy. I would break out in a sweat. I would stutter. I would stammer. I couldn't talk to people. I was very anxious. I was a nervous wreck around other people because that was not the environment that I was used to being in. And if you would have known me 9 years ago, your mind would be blown right now because I wouldn't be able to have this conversation. But I was consistent in what I did. I was consistently putting myself in personal development. I was consistently reading books on this. I was consistently writing my goals. I was consistently hiring coaches. I was consistently surrounding myself with individuals that were where I wanted to be until I grew into that person that I wanted to be. And then I got my first deal, and then I got my second, and then my third, and then my fourth, and then we were able to quit my job, and then I moved out to Arizona and started my own office. And then now, today, we have done so much. We have one of the largest real estate investing communities in the country. We have companies internationally. We have multiple businesses doing multiple things, and I am so blessed and so grateful to be able to say I am literally living my dream. But here's the thing. It was all intentional. I did not stumble here. I did not get here by accident. I put the proverbial flag in the ground and said, this is where I'm going and nobody's going to stop me. And I'm here to tell you, right? Were there some challenges? Absolutely. Did I think I was going to fail? Absolutely. Right? Did I have thoughts that weren't empowering? Absolutely. But the key is I had such a vivid picture, just like the picture behind me, such a vivid picture of how my life was going to be that I didn't give up, that I didn't quit, because that is what kept me going. I'm actually coming, like I said earlier, live from Cusco, Peru. We're living down here for 3 months. Then we're going to Mexico. Then we're coming back, I think, gonna go to the Galapagos Islands. Then we're gonna go to Chile and Argentina and travel all around South America. And then we're gonna travel the rest of the world. And that is exactly what I wrote down years ago. Right, years ago. And for many of you, you may go, well, that's a long time. And I'm here to tell you, yeah, it may be, but here's the reality of it, is that time is gonna come or go regardless of whether you want it to or not. And what I mean by that is a year is gonna come and go, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 20, 30 years, the rest of your life is gonna come and go. Why not go down a path that leads to the final destination that you want to be, as opposed to just living on a path that doesn't excite you, that doesn't liberate you, that doesn't make you wake up in the morning or keep you up at night because you have this passion, this purpose inside of you, right? 10 years, where do you want to be? Do you want to start today? If it took you 10 years to accomplish everything you want and you had to start today, would you do it? Because I'm here to tell you, it does take time. Now, for some of you, it may be faster than others. For me, it took me almost 3 years to quit my job once I got intentional about it. Once I said, I'm going to quit my job, I went and found a program, I bought their program, I surrounded myself with those individuals, and I hung out with them as much as I could. And then what that meant is I had to quit hanging around anybody else that wasn't aligned with the same similar mission, because I had a limited amount of time. And that's what I see people do. One of the biggest challenges is they won't change their environment. They surround themselves with people that aren't going down the same path, that don't have a similar future, that don't have similar goals, that don't support them, right? And I'm here to say your probability of being able to accomplish what you want inside of that environment is almost slim to none. So you need to change your environment. You need to be around people that are building you up. You need to start reading books on personal development. You need to start writing down your goals and being intentional with everything you do. And I'm here to say, once you start believing what you say, magic happens. And what I mean by that is, I remember when I first started this, I would write down my affirmations, and I didn't believe it. I would literally drive down to the end of my road. I lived in the country, and I would read them. And I would read them like this. I am powerful. I am great. I am making a lot of money. I am living my dream. And it had no belief in it, had no inspiration, it had no power to it. But I kept doing it every day, and I just knew, this is what I knew. If I kept doing it, one day, I'm actually gonna believe what I'm saying. One day, I'm actually going to embrace what I say and what I read on that paper. And then literally, I did it every day for 30 days. And at the end of that 30 days, I was reading it like this. I was saying, I am powerful. I am doing what I want. I am making money. I am living my dream. And I would just go on and on and on. And I believed what I said, what I was saying. I believed it was going to come true. Now, did it happen automatically? Absolutely not. I had to put in the time, I had to put in the effort, I had to put in the work. But here's what I did know, is I knew it was coming. I just knew it was a matter of when. And the more belief you have, the more work you put into it, the quicker it will come. So everyone has their own, what we call, gestation period. You may be able to think of something and create it tomorrow. For somebody else, they may think of it today, and it may take 2, 3, 4 weeks, 2 years. I don't know. But all I do know is the more intentional you are, the sharper you can get that proverbial picture in your mind and on paper and document it, the quicker it will come. And if you actually believe this is what I'm saying, I'm telling you, there's books after books after books that I consistently read. I know what they say, but the reason I consistently read them is because it keeps solidifying what I already know, so I don't drop out of that belief, so I don't lose that passion, so I don't lose that purpose, because I am a big believer that anything is possible. And our goal is to help you get across that proverbial finish line, whatever it is. Maybe it's traveling, maybe it's staying at home with your family, maybe it's putting your kids through college, maybe it's buying a sports car, maybe it's buying a cabin on a lake. I don't care what it is, right? But you need to find something that lights you up, a passion, a purpose, and an intention that lights you up, and then let's go. Because we want to get you across that proverbial finish line, but it's up to you to lace up those running shoes and get to the starting line. And what that looks like is starting a plan. Now, if you've ever listened to any of my other podcasts or any of the other things that I've done, you will notice that they all start with, what is your plan? Or have some type of flavor in that, because if you don't have a plan, you're gonna fail. I will put money on that, because you will be unintentional, you won't have a purpose, you won't have a definite aim. And every action, every cent, every second you spend needs to be on that purpose and that intention and that end zone, that proverbial finish line. And if you don't, you'll allow people to push you around. You'll allow people to set you off track because you don't even know what track you're on, right? So if you need help with this, we have so much different things that we can do. We have free meetings 3 times a week. We have advanced masterminds. We have people that have been down almost every road you can think of, and they're looking backwards, and they can tell you where to drive, where to go, what exit to get off on, and actually provide that direction. So I hope this was helpful, but the key is start a plan, go get into a personal development program, go buy some books, whatever it is, whatever level you're at, whatever fits your budget, whatever fits that. And here's the thing, be intentional, because we all got 24 hours in the day, and there's no excuse for you not having the life that you want. And I'm committed on helping you accomplish that. So hit us up on Facebook, hit us up on Instagram, hit us up on YouTube, any way you can get a hold of us, and let us know how we can support you, because this is our mission, to help others live an amazing life. Zach Ullman, have a beautiful day, everybody.